from the bodybuilding scene to the streets. Today, I'll tell you the story of bodybuilding stars who have lost everything. We start the video with model and bodybuilder Lonnie Willison, who competed in the 2012 NPC West Coast Classic Bikini competition and took first place in the F class ahead of two competitors. At a height of 173 centimeters, she weighed 61 kilograms. Two competitions are mentioned in connection with her competition history. In addition to the one already mentioned, she also competed in the NPC Muscle Shootout in 2012, where she won her class in bikini and the entire competition without categories. Although she is best known as a model, she has declared that she prefers bodybuilding competitions. She also came in third in the American Cup in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Although she does not have the body type associated with muscular bodybuilders, Willison represents the fitness style of eating a lot and lists deadlifts and pull-ups as her favorite exercises. In her biographies, it is repeatedly mentioned that she married the actor Jeremy Jackson, known from Baywatch. This happened in 2012, but only 2 years later, after an argument in which she suffered 2 broken ribs and other injuries, she left the relationship and Jackson was sent to prison for 270 days with 5 years probation. However, it turned out that it was Willison who was much worse off after the whole incident. Her career as a fitness model collapsed. It didn't take long before she lost 2 jobs and ended up on the street. She disappeared for 2 years and was not seen again until 2018. She looked like on the visible photos, collected the most necessary things from garbage cans and fought with a methamphetamine addiction. The change is even more dramatic when you consider how such a flourishing career was destroyed in a short time. First and foremost, she blames her mental disorder for this, as she believes that she is connected to a power grid. She also claimed that this was why she was a threat to her loved ones and had caused havoc in Hollywood and California. Only methamphetamine could silence these voices. Although many people offered her help, even if it was only in the form of therapy, Willison refused and continues to live the same lifestyle today. She is 41 years old. A very similar scenario had occurred earlier with the already much more muscular Denise Rutkowski. The Golden Panther began competing in 1988 and won the NPC Nationals in Texas. In her history of 10 appearances, she only took 3rd place at the NPC Nationals in 1992 and 2nd at the MS Olympia in 1993. Apart from that, she won every competition she entered. At a height of 165 centimeters, she weighed between 64 and 70 kilograms and already had a muscular build, although not as developed as that of some of her contemporaries. In 1993, she only lost to Linda Murray in the Miss Olympia competition, and when it seemed that she could be at the top the following year, she ended her career. She returned to her home state of Texas, attended a Bible school for 2 years, and then began a tour across the country proclaiming the gospel. She stated, "To all of my fans, I can say that I am blessed to be out of the bodybuilding business and not be forced to take performance-enhancing drugs. Amen." It can be concluded that the main motivation to end her career was to be free of steroids. It is often mentioned that Rutkowski suffers from bipolar disorder, although this information has never been officially confirmed and Denise herself has denied it. Regardless of whether it is true or not, this is how she looked in 2012, which is quite a contrast to how she looked in the 1990s. This is a police photo taken after she was arrested for fleeing an arrest. What exactly these words mean and what the reason for the original arrest was is not known, or at least I could not find any such information anywhere. On Wikipedia, you can also read that the situation repeated itself in 2013. On YouTube, you can find material entitled Denise Rutkowski: What Really Happened. The author reported on her mental health issues during which she constantly preached, including once in the driveway of a restaurant for which she was arrested by the police. She also lost her job as a fitness trainer because she constantly preached to her clients. You can also find a quote from her mother that answers the question of where Denise might currently be staying: in a Presbyterian night shelter or sleeping somewhere in a homeless group under the stars. It's hard to say whether this is a reliable source, but if it is true, it illustrates a very sad story of a once great star of fitness sports. And finally, Bill Pettis, who was described as the man with the largest biceps in the world. This title was given to him for good reason, as the circumference of his arms was 23 3/4 inches or 59 centimeters, and Pettis was said to eat 40 eggs a day. And all this in the golden era when even Arnold Schwarzenegger had arms with a circumference of just 56 centimeters. When you look at pictures of Pettis, his arms look great, a bit like Phil Heath's, and his gigantic forearms were just as, if not more, impressive. From 1971 to 1975, he only competed in 4 contests, with a 3rd place at the World Pro Championships in 1975 being his best result. Despite his incredible arms, which he reportedly trained for 6 hours a day, the other body parts were overshadowed by them, and his overall physique was not complete enough to secure him the greatest successes. In 1984, he appeared on an advertising poster for the Olympic Games, but despite numerous opportunities to capitalize on this popularity, he never succeeded. According to the words of his close friend, Bill lived from the Olympics and the reputation of having the biggest arms in the world for years. He didn't want to work hard enough or broaden his horizons. This led to his former training partners pursuing careers in other areas, while he always stayed in the same place in Venice Beach. Joe Gold, the owner of the famous gym, helped him through hard times, but when he died in 2004, Bill Pettis completely fell apart. He remained homeless, became addicted to alcohol, and looked like in the visible photos. Shortly before his death, he was supposed to return to Pennsylvania, where his family wanted to be reunited. Unfortunately, he did not make it. On the 27th of September 2016, he was found dead in the creek bed where he drowned at the age of 69, with a ticket home and a bag full of photos from his best bodybuilding days. As Arnold Schwarzenegger said about him, Bill Pettis was one of his favorite training partners. He had the biggest arms he had ever seen, but more importantly, he had the biggest heart. "I will miss him," Schwarzenegger said. Let me know in the comments if you know of any other such stories of fitness or bodybuilding stars. This is Steel Shock. See you in the next episode.